Welcome to Fliptv News. I am Christian Chico. Let's take a look at the top headlines. Why Tinibu won APC Primary-Shettima divests. Senator Aliero dumps APC for PDP. Shore wins AAC presidential ticket. An angry mob kills a car rider in Lagos. Now the business. FG sanctions oil firms. Sports. Gattuso now in charge of Valencia. Now to the news in detail. Former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima has revealed why the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate emerged at the party's flag bearer for the 2023 general election. Shettima noted that Tinibu's promise of better days for Nigerians across all divides resonated with party members, stakeholders, and delegates that voted at the party's primary. He said aside from the endorsement of Tinibu by 6 other presidential aspirants, his personality and nationwide acceptability played a crucial role in his emergence. Asiwaju emerged as victor against all odds because we were elected to see through the mud thrown at him by those who couldn't match his political credentials. Shettima, who was once the top supporters of Tinibu's presidential ambition, revealed this in a series of tweets on his Twitter handle on Thursday. The media reports that Tinibu scored 1,271 votes to defeat his closest contender Rotimi Amechi and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on Wednesday. Now to the Senator Adamu Aliero, APC Kebbi Central, on Thursday formally announced his defection from the ruling All Progressives Congress to the People's Democratic Party. Declaring his defection in Birin Kebbi, the Kebbi state capital, Aliero said his decision was informed by his effort to fulfill the desire of his teeming supporters spread across the state. Senator Adamu Aliero on Thursday formally announced his defection. Declaring his defection in Birin Kebbi, the Kebbi state capital, Aliero said his decision was informed by his effort to fulfill the desire of his teeming supporters. The news agency of Nigeria reports that Aliero is a 2-term governor of Kebbi State, minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and a 7th member of the Red Chamber. The lawmaker said, I, Muhammadu Adamu Aliero, people of my constituency, that is Kebbi Central, and my teaming supporters from across Kebbi State, have resolved to defect from APC to PDP due to the injustices we endured in our former party, APC. Those in support of my political ideology were deceived and treated unjustly. Hence, the need for us to leave the party for another political party where we feel we shall be accommodated and treated justly. Now to Shore. On Thursday, the AAC held its presidential primary elections in Abuja. Here, delegates employed voice voting in line with electoral laws and unanimously affirmed Mr. Shore as the party's presidential candidate. Mr. Shore declared his interest in the presidency in March. The time for total freedom is now, Mr. Shore said in his declaration. Today's victory confirms Mr. Shore's second participation in Nigerian presidential elections. He was the party's candidate in 2019. Mr. Shore garnered 33,953 votes at the polls over opponents like Fela Durotoye of the Alliance for New Nigeria and Kingsley Moalu of the Young Democratic Party. President Muhammadu Buhari won the election, trailed closely by Atiku Abubakar of the main opposition People's Democratic Party. Mr. Shore, in his campaign on social and economic justice for Nigeria, the same critical issues he has used his Sahara Reporters online publication to champion for nearly 2 decades. Now to angry mobs. Tension brewed today at Jakonde Estate, Isheri Road, Isolo, Lagos State, when a commercial motorcycle rider hit a resident who died on the spot. The situation led to a mob action as residents of the community trooped out to attack the rider and consequently set some other commercial motorcycles on fire in anger. The Lagos State Police Public Relations Officer David Hundeyin confirmed in a tweet the accident and the death of the pedestrian. Hundeyin said the rider was being attacked when the police arrived, rescued him, and took him to the hospital. The PPRO added that by the time the police returned to the scene, the mob had descended on some other motorcycles and set them ablaze. He wrote, "It is important to clear the air on what's going on at Jokonde Estate, Ishari Road this morning. A motorcycle rider veered off the road and hit a pedestrian. Unfortunately, the pedestrian fell and died on the spot. People around decided to lynch the motorcycle rider." Now to business. The federal government has said it will sanction oil and gas companies that fail to comply with the human capacity development provisions contained in the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act. The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Simbi Wabote, made this known on Wednesday while delivering a keynote address at the second edition of the virtual stakeholders workshop for human capacity development in the Nigerian oil and gas industry. Speaking on the topic, human capacity development, the pillar for Nigeria's industrialization, the NCDMB chieftain warned that the board would enforce periodic forensic audit for HCD programs and companies found violating the NOGICD Act 2010 and the ministerial regulations in executing cost-intensive capacity development initiative, as mandated by the Act, will be sanctioned. He said it has come to the attention of the board that some operating companies and services companies are reluctant to implement the HCD programs as directed by the board. Now to sport. Gennaro Gattuso has been appointed as head coach of Valencia on a deal until June 2024. The AC Milan legend replaces Jose Bordalas, who was dismissed just one season into a 2-year contract. This was after a campaign in which Valencia finished 9th and lost the Copa del Rey final to Real Betis. Valencia and Gattuso joins the club following an extensive career both as a player and as a coach. After hanging up the boots, he started his coaching career in 2012 with teams like AC Milan and SSC Napoli, with whom he won the Coppa Italia in 2020. Gattuso spent 18 months in charge of the Rossoneri after being appointed in November 2017. With that, we've come to the end of the news on Flip. I'm Christian Chico. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.